In a small town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there existed a quaint hospital that served the community faithfully. It was a place of healing, where doctors and nurses worked tirelessly to mend the ailments of the townsfolk. Yet, outside its doors, a curious little bobcat had made a nightly ritual of sleeping on the cold concrete steps. The townspeople had grown accustomed to spotting the small creature, its fur a mix of tawny and gray, blending seamlessly with the shadows as dusk fell. The bobcat, affectionately nicknamed Little Bob, had become a fixture at the hospital. Each night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, he would arrive, curling up in a cozy ball, his sharp ears twitching at the sounds of the night. He seemed to possess an uncanny awareness of the hospital's rhythms, appearing just as the last of the visitors departed and the lights dimmed. Children would giggle and point as they passed by, and the elderly would nod knowingly, whispering tales of the bobcat's nightly vigil. At first, the staff had simply regarded him as a stray animal, a curious visitor who found comfort in the warmth of the hospital's light. They would occasionally toss scraps of food his way, and he would accept them with a shy glance, his amber eyes reflecting a mixture of gratitude and caution. But as the nights turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the question lingered. Why did Little Bobcat choose this place to rest? Among the hospital staff was Dr. Samuel Hargrove, a compassionate physician known for his gentle demeanor and unwavering dedication to his patients. He had seen countless individuals walk through the hospital doors, each with their own story, their own struggles. Yet, the sight of Little Bob tugged at something deep within him. He often found himself pausing to watch the bobcat, pondering the reasons for such loyalty to a place meant for healing. One chilly autumn evening, curiosity got the better of Dr. Hargrove. He decided to stay late after his shift, hoping to discover the truth behind Little Bob's nightly presence. As the clock ticked towards midnight, he peered out the hospital window, watching as the bobcat settled down, his small body curling into a tight ball. The doctor felt a wave of empathy wash over him. Surely, there was more to this story. As the hours passed, Dr. Hargrove's thoughts drifted to the patients he had treated that week. There was the elderly woman who had come in with pneumonia, her frail frame a testament to the struggles of age. Then there was the young boy, just 8 years old, who had been diagnosed with leukemia. Each patient had left an imprint on his heart, and he often found himself replaying their stories in his mind, wondering how he could have done more for them. Suddenly, a soft rustling sound broke through his reverie. Dr. Hargrove turned his gaze back to the bobcat, who was now standing alert, ears perked, as if sensing something in the air. The doctor watched closely, feeling an inexplicable connection to the little creature. It was as if they were both guardians of the same sanctuary, protectors of the vulnerable souls who sought solace within the hospital's walls. Just then, a patient was wheeled out on a stretcher, accompanied by a flurry of medical staff. Dr. Hargrove recognized the young boy from earlier, the one battling leukemia. His heart sank as he saw the pallor of the boy's skin, the way his small face seemed to betray the strength he was trying to muster. The doctor rushed to the scene, his instincts kicking in as he worked alongside his colleagues to ensure the boy was stable. After the commotion subsided and the boy was safely transported to his room, Dr. Hargrove stepped outside, needing a moment to breathe. The cool night air filled his lungs, and he leaned against the wall, closing his eyes. That was when he noticed Little Bob sitting upright, his gaze fixed on the hospital entrance. There was a palpable intensity in the bobcat's demeanor, a sense of purpose that resonated deeply within the doctor. In that moment, it became clear to Dr. Hargrove that Little Bob was not just a stray. He was a guardian, a silent witness to the struggles faced by those who entered the hospital. The realization washed over him like a wave, and he felt tears prick at the corners of his eyes. The bobcat was there for a reason, and perhaps it was time to uncover that reason. The next day, Dr. Hargrove took it upon himself to learn more about Little Bob. He spoke to the nurses, asking if they had noticed anything unusual about the bobcat's behavior. To his surprise, they shared stories of how he would often linger near certain patients' rooms, as if drawn to their presence. Some staff members had even taken to leaving food out for him, and he would eat with a quiet grace, always returning to his post outside the hospital. Driven by a newfound determination, Dr. Hargrove began to investigate the history of the bobcat. He reached out to local wildlife experts and animal rescue organizations, hoping to uncover any information about Little Bob's past. What he discovered was both heartbreaking and inspiring. Little Bob had once belonged to a family who had taken him in as a kitten. He had been loved and cherished, but when the family faced financial hardships, they were forced to release him into the wild. The story took a turn when Dr. Hargrove learned that the family had a young daughter, Lily, who had been diagnosed with a chronic illness. Little Bob had been her constant companion, providing comfort during her difficult days. After she was hospitalized for an extended period, the family had to make the painful decision to let him go, believing he would be happier in the wild. But Little Bob had never forgotten Lily. As the doctor pieced together the story, he felt a profound sense of loss for the bond between the girl and her beloved bobcat. It was evident that Little Bob had returned to the hospital, drawn by the memories of his time with Lily, hoping to catch a glimpse of her, or perhaps even feel her presence again. Armed with this knowledge, Dr. Hargrove knew he had to act. He reached out to Lily's family, explaining the situation and the connection between Little Bob and their daughter. They were hesitant at first, still grappling with the pain of their past decision. But as Dr. Hargrove shared the stories of Little Bob's nightly vigil, something shifted. They realized that perhaps the bobcat had never truly left their lives. He had simply been waiting for the right moment to return. Weeks passed, and the hospital staff began to notice a change in the atmosphere. Little Bob seemed more vibrant, his playful spirit returning as he interacted with the nurses and patients alike. He would often sit outside the rooms of children, his presence providing a sense of comfort and hope. The hospital had become a sanctuary not just for healing, but also for connection. A place where stories intertwined and love transcended boundaries. Then, one fateful evening, Lily returned to the hospital for a routine checkup. She had grown stronger, her laughter echoing through the halls as she reunited with her favorite nurses. Dr. Hargrove had arranged for Little Bob to be present, knowing that this moment would be pivotal for both the girl and the bobcat. As Lily walked through the doors, her eyes widened in disbelief when she spotted Little Bob waiting for her at the entrance. Time seemed to stand still as the two locked eyes. Little Bob, sensing the familiar warmth of his long-lost friend, bounded toward her, his heart racing with joy. Lily knelt down, tears streaming down her face as she embraced the little bobcat, their reunion a testament to the unbreakable bond they once shared. Dr. Hargrove stood back, his heart swelling with emotion as he witnessed the magic of that moment unfold. The hospital staff gathered around, their hearts moved by the scene before them. It was a reminder of the power of love, of the connections that bind us even in the most challenging of times. As Lily and Little Bob shared their long-awaited reunion, Dr. Hargrove felt the weight of his own tears, a release of all the emotions he had held within during the months of watching over his patients and the little bobcat. In the days that followed, Little Bob became a cherished member of the hospital community once more. With Lily's family now committed to caring for him, he no longer had to sleep outside in the cold. Instead, he roamed the hospital halls, bringing joy to everyone he encountered. His presence became a symbol of hope, a reminder that healing comes in many forms and that love knows no boundaries. Dr. Hargrove reflected on the journey that had led him to this moment. The little bobcat had taught him more about compassion and connection than any medical textbook ever could. He realized that every life touched by the hospital was intertwined, and that sometimes the most profound healing comes from the simplest of gestures, a gentle nudge, a comforting purr, or the warmth of a familiar embrace. As the seasons changed and the years rolled on, Little Bob continued to be a beacon of light within the hospital. His story became a cherished part of the town's lore, a testament to the resilience of love and the magic that occurs when hearts are open to one another. And every night, as the stars twinkled above, Little Bob would curl up in a cozy corner of the hospital, content in the knowledge that he was home,